Everyone loves catchy tunes like Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus, but not all tunes are catchy. Some make you think, some make you cry, and some make you happy. The tune that we would like to share with you that has a lot of meaning is titled No One Mourns the Wicked, or So It Seems. Yeah, it's probably not the catchiest tune you have ever heard in your life, but it proves the point of our musical. Every child growing up has seen The Wizard of Oz. Watching that show, many people probably despise the Wicked Witch of the West. But in the play Wicked, you may begin to feel differently about her. And that's where the tune No One Mourns the Wicked comes in. Wicked is important because it tells the untold story of the two witches from the Wizard of Oz, and the unlikely friendship that can be made by looking past the stereotypes of good and evil and seeing the person for who they are. In the play Wicked, the lesson and the message they are trying to portray is that all things are made up of both good and evil, and that just because someone is evil, it doesn't mean that there can't be a little bit of good in them.
You got a messed up clicker.
It's all plugged in. Way to go.
I didn't plug in.
Two jobs.
I don't know how it works.
Alright, you should be good.
Okay. This is the book that it was originally off of. It's called The Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West, and it's basically the backstory behind all of the witches and stuff. It's by Gregory Maguire. Okay, this is the writer for the actual, like, the script from the play, not the book. Her name is Winnie Foltzman, and this is the musician, like, lyrics and all that stuff. This is quite a few of their designs. They kind of go in, like, chronological order for the whole thing. And basically this play starts at the end of The Wizard of Oz. And so that's where this one comes from, and this is like at the very end when they're in the Emerald City. But the stage design was done by Eugene. And costuming, this has some pretty funky costumes, especially for the people in Oz, like in the Emerald City. They're all green and very funky. And down in this corner is Galinda and Elphaba, which Elphaba is the Wicked Witch of the West, and Galinda is the Good Witch that we know from Wizard of Oz.
The play was produced by Universal Pictures, Mayor Platt, and David Stone. It premiered in Broadway at Gershwin Theater on October in 2003.
Elphaba is probably one of the biggest characters. She's obviously the Wicked Witch of the West. And in the original musical, she was played by Idina Menzel. And if any of you have seen Frozen, the new movie, Elsa is the person. She plays Elsa. She has a really good voice. This is Galinda. She's the Good Witch from Wizard of Oz as well. And she's played by Kristen Chenoweth. She's like goody two-shoes. And like, she can't do anything wrong. The wizard is really, as we find out in The Wizard of Oz, he's this like really not powerful guy. And this musical basically confirms it, that he's this really wimpy guy that can't do anything. But he is played by Joel Grey in the original musical. And Fiyero is actually the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz, but originally he was this like charming guy that Galinda falls in love with, but Elphaba also falls in love with him. They kind of have like conflicting love interests, and eventually Elphaba and Fiyero played by Norbert Video. Who's
Oh.
in. Okay.
The plot of Wicked is the backstory of the witches in the Wizard of Oz. Glinda is the good witch and Elphaba is the wicked witch of the West. They are forced to room together at school and go from complete enemies to best friends. It is only when they discover that the Wizard of Oz, their idol, is a criminal and is harming animals that they must part paths. The world thinks that Elphaba has nasty magic which turn animals bad, while they think Glinda as an innocent bystander. Elphaba must follow her heart and do what is right in order to get animals free. In the end, both Glinda and Elphaba have found where they belong, even though they can no longer be friends with each other again. The themes of this was good and evil. People are not just evil or not just good. Each person is a little bit of both, as we see in Wicked. Elphaba is not just the wicked witch of the West, as seen in The Wizard of Oz. She does have a good side, and perhaps her actions have been misunderstood. Understanding the differences, Elphaba and Glinda are complete opposites, and at first they cannot accept each other's differences. Eventually, they learn to look past their differences and see their common characteristics. This development is the beginning of their friendship. About the significance of the theater is Wicked is the groundbreaking musical that tells the backstory of the Wizard of Oz witches. It has won 3 Tony Awards and 6 Drama Desk Awards. It is the 11th longest running Broadway musical in history. It also has received many awards from the international theaters.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through like the plot and pictures. This is the very beginning, which it basically picks up where the Wizard of Oz left off. So this is Glinda coming down after the Wicked Witch of the West is supposedly dead. And all of the munchkins out there, they're like, "Oh, Glinda, I thought you were friends with her at one time." And she's like, "Yeah, we did go to school together." And so this giant play is basically like a flashback of Glinda's memory. So this is their first day at school, and they go to Shiz University, and they accidentally get roomed together, and they hate each other. Like, she is the good preppy girl, and all the students love her, and then Glinda is the one that everybody hates and thinks is really weird, and it's just basically a typical school. This is Fiyero and Glinda, and this song was Dancing Through Life, and it's basically Fiyero's like motto for life. He doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about school or getting a job or anything like that. He just wants to free for all and have fun for the rest of his life. But this is kind of the turning events here when Glinda and Elphaba start to become friends, because before Glinda had tried to like make fun of Elphaba and give her this really pointy black hat as like a present, and Elphaba thought it was great. She loved it. She was like, "Oh my gosh, you're so nice." And so she showed up at this ball they were having wearing this hat, and everybody started staring at her and laughing at her, and then she figured out obviously that it wasn't very fashionable. But Glinda, being the good witch that she is, felt really bad for her, and they started dancing together so she wouldn't feel like all by herself, which leads to Popular, which is, I like this song a lot, it's really funny. But basically, Glinda decides to make Elphaba her project, and she's going to turn her into the popular girl that everyone wants to be with, and it's really pretty funny. But this, they both are in the sorcery major at their university, and they get so high up in their class that they are able to go to Oz to meet the Great Wizard, which is like their dream. He is their idol. And so they're having this great day here, but then they figure out that the wizard is actually a bad guy, and he is taking away all the animals' abilities to speak, which is terrible. And so Elphaba was given like an opportunity to work with the wizard. She was going to be like his apprentice, but when she found that out, she decided not to. And so the wizard kind of gets mad at her and blames the animal's talking abilities disappearing on her. And so everyone is like after her now. And so eventually those two have to part ways because Glinda can't be with the Wicked Witch of the West because her reputation is going to get ruined and it's just a bad deal. But before that, those two obviously fall in love. And this is kind of like their goodbye before she gets chased by a bunch of monkeys, flying monkeys. And Fiyero actually gets tortured, and Elphaba casts a spell on him to make him a scarecrow so they can't hurt him. So she protects him, but she thinks she fails, and it's kind of a bad deal. This is the last time that Glinda and Elphaba see each other, and it's like right before Glinda goes and turns herself in, and Elphaba flies off to hide in her castle that you see in The Wizard of Oz. But this is kind of like what I think is the best song in the musical, because it talks about, like, even though they didn't really like each other at the beginning, they wouldn't have, like, not met each other because they learned so much from each other, and they would never go back and do it again.
Do you want to say the songs first?
We have more. You.
Being a meme is harder than I thought. Whew. Ooh, maybe I should be a mime.
That's good.